Turning 75 triggers 5 biological changes in the body that occur whether you've exercised daily, eaten well, or felt young your entire life. These changes don't arrive with clear warning signs. They activate silently, like switches buried deep within your biology, programmed to turn on at this specific age. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows these shifts follow a predictable sequence documented across thousands of medical studies in the United States, Europe, and Asia. Everyone who reaches 75 experiences them, regardless of genetics, lifestyle, or previous health. What's most surprising is that these changes are rarely discussed until complications are already underway. Families often miss the early signs because the shifts happen quietly in the background. Seniors themselves usually dismiss them as normal aging without realizing these are distinct biological processes that can be understood and managed. One of these changes is especially concerning because neurological studies show it begins damaging the brain 3 to 4 years before noticeable symptoms appear, making it both silent and potentially dangerous. Understanding what happens at 75 doesn't create fear, it creates awareness. And awareness allows you to adapt in ways that protect quality of life. One of the first major changes affects how you sleep. After 75, your brain restructures sleep completely. This isn't just sleeping less or waking earlier. Your sleep architecture itself changes. Deep sleep, the stage responsible for physical repair, immune strength, and memory consolidation, decreases dramatically. At the same time, natural melatonin production drops year after year, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. Your internal clock shifts forward, which is why early evenings and very early mornings suddenly feel natural. Sleep also becomes more fragmented. You may wake many times throughout the night without fully remembering it. Fighting this new pattern often makes sleep worse. Accepting it, adjusting routines, and using early mornings productively reduces stress and improves overall rest. Light exposure early in the day, darker evenings, cooler room temperatures, and flexible sleep expectations work better than forcing old habits. Sleep may be different, but different doesn't mean broken. As sleep changes, temperature regulation also breaks down. After 75, the brain's ability to sense and respond to temperature weakens. You may feel unusually cold or overheat. Sweating becomes less effective, blood vessels respond more slowly, and natural insulation under the skin thins. At the same time, metabolism slows, producing less internal heat. What makes this dangerous is that warning signals fade. Thirst becomes unreliable. Shivering weakens. The body doesn't clearly signal when it's in danger from heat or cold. Managing this requires stable indoor temperatures, layered clothing, consistent hydration, and avoiding temperature extremes. Objective tools like thermometers and climate control become more reliable than internal sensations. Another widespread change occurs in digestion. After 75, the entire digestive system slows permanently. Swallowing becomes less coordinated. Saliva production drops. Stomach acid decreases, reducing nutrient absorption and protection against bacteria. The small intestine absorbs nutrients less efficiently, while the pancreas produces fewer digestive enzymes. Food moves more slowly through the colon, making constipation common. This means eating the same way you always have often no longer works. Smaller, more frequent meals are easier to manage. Chewing thoroughly becomes essential. Digestive enzymes, probiotics, and gentle fiber sources help compensate for reduced digestive function. Digestion doesn't stop working, but it requires support instead of being taken for granted. Balance also deteriorates in multiple systems at once. Inner ear sensors lose cells. Muscles and joints send weaker position signals. Vision loses contrast and depth accuracy. The brain processes balance information more slowly. Even ankle strength and flexibility decline, reducing your first line of defense against small slips. Fear of falling worsens balance by creating stiffness and hesitation. Blood pressure changes during standing can trigger dizziness. Managing this requires daily balance practice, safe environments, supportive footwear, proper lighting, and well-timed activities when energy and coordination are best. Balance training becomes a daily necessity, not an optional exercise. The most impactful change of all is muscle loss. After 75, muscle decline accelerates sharply. The body begins breaking down muscle even when calories are adequate. Muscles stop responding normally to protein and exercise. Repair cells decline. Power fibers disappear faster than endurance fibers. Hormones that support muscle nearly vanish, while inflammation rises. This affects everything: standing up, climbing stairs, reacting to a stumble, maintaining independence. Inactivity becomes especially dangerous. Even short periods of bed rest can cause severe, permanent muscle loss. Fighting this decline requires strategy. Protein intake must increase and be spread throughout the day. Each meal needs enough protein to trigger muscle repair. Resistance training becomes more important, not less, though recovery takes longer. Vitamin D plays a crucial role. Timing matters. Morning movement, consistent nutrition, and avoiding long gaps without protein help preserve strength. Understanding these 5 changes removes shame and frustration. They are not signs of weakness or failure. They are biological processes programmed into aging. While they can't be stopped, their impact can be reduced. The most important step is awareness. Discuss these changes with your healthcare provider. Address them one at a time instead of all at once. Track what improves and what doesn't. Connect with others going through the same stage of life. And remember, while aging is unavoidable, unnecessary suffering is not. Knowledge gives you leverage. When you understand what's happening inside your body, you gain the power to adapt, protect your independence, and live well beyond 75.